It's a gift. It's a
It's a remembrance.
yeah. Would you would you, in the interest of science, experimentation, or whatever, would you ever, as an experiment, use it, play it? Because my part of my belief is, for someone psychically sensitive or a medium, that if it's like I think it is, meaning a conduit to the other side, well, it would certainly manifest with someone like your gifts playing it. Or do you not think that that's an appropriate use?
You know, if the opportunity to come up, if the opportunity came up to play with a Ouija board, so to speak, using the word play with,
Yeah.
or let's start again. If the opportunity came for me to utilize a Ouija board to try to communicate with ghosts or spirits, I wouldn't object to that experimentation or that use of a board as an investigative tool.
Okay.
I think that would be fine.
Yeah, I was just wondering that after we're done, when they're finished up the experiment, if maybe you and Bob or you and Schrader, someone you respected, if you sat down for 10 minutes, who knows what happens? Because to me, I'm looking for that moment, that thing that makes Bob Murch say, maybe there is another side. That's my mission, just be honest. And maybe I will never achieve that, but right. That's, to me, as long as skeptics play it, I don't think I'm going to get there. Whereas someone who, you're neutral, you believe in what you believe, but you're not out there using it every day. Just thinking, what happens if Chip Coffey played it? Well, if this thing does reach the other side, it's definitely going to reach the other side through him. So that's why I asked the question.
I don't know if that's necessarily the truth.
Maybe not.
I think that anybody should be able, with pure intent, to get those sort of results. If you're going in, I don't know if the Ouija board for me is going to work any better than it's going to work for anybody else.
Maybe not.
I don't know. I really don't believe that it's going to work a lot better for me than it would for, Mary or Joe or Fred or Frank or...
Although if there was entities contacting, you might hear them. See, I don't know how it works for you. Do you see, hear, feel, things?
All the above.
So therefore, if you were doing it, instead of just seeing things spelled out, you may feel, see, or hear something. It might be interesting to see if you get any additional input at that session. I mean, it would be it would rule out, for at least in my mind, some things. Because I would suspect you would get something, even if the thing wasn't moving, if you'd be like, there's nothing here, or there is something here. And I've never seen anybody with that sensitivity play the game, or the toy, or the tool, however you want to characterize it. So that's all. I mean... I'm not, if when we're done and we see Bob and you're into that, that would be 10 minutes of golden footage, frankly, but it's up to you. I'm just putting it out there. So without taking more of your time, let me go wrap up. So when you go on these investigations, you feel that the Ouija board is what and works by a mechanism of how, just to wrap up, and then we'll kind of conclude here. So.
I've been on a couple of investigations where Ouija boards have been available for people to use. I've never really heard the results of what happened if they were utilized. I think it's another in a long line of possible communication tools that, could be utilized, as long as the people were using them with the right intent and without some sort of fear-based reaction to the board itself based on the bad reputation that it achieved. And I think it's an unfair bad reputation that it achieved.
Yeah.
So maybe it's another one of those tools that if the reputation can be, brought back up a little bit and the fear surrounding the board can be diminished somewhat, I think it can probably be a pretty good tool to utilize on paranormal investigations to see exactly if information can be gleaned from it.
And how about kids, non-psychic kids? It's marketed to 8 years old and above at Toys R Us. Is that right, or is that wrong, or do you not think it's a big deal?
I don't suggest for young people to play with Ouija boards because the paranormal is this great, murky, unknown realm to a great degree. Can bad things happen? Absolutely. Can negative things happen? Absolutely. And, it's dangerous? Not really, but this is kind of an adult realm that, without supervision, definitely children should not, I don't believe, be playing with Ouija boards. I think that any child that's delving into the paranormal at all on any aspect should have good adult supervision and guidance.
Fair enough. Last point. Why do you think the paranormal has exploded these last few years? Is it something that TV created and executives, or do you think it's a cultural thing that we're moving towards more spiritual age of Aquarius type of thing? What's your opinion on that?
I think the paranormal has probably become more popular in recent years because of the television exposure that it's had, ghost hunting shows and the like. I think that there are a lot of books and the advent of the internet. People are talking about it more. There are chat rooms and those sorts of things. And I do believe that people are very interested in what lies beyond death. You know, 9/11 had a huge impact on everyone to start to look at and examine what really happens after we leave this mortal coil. So, I don't know. I mean, I think that people just, it's always been there. Look back at the Egyptians. They were the ones that were thinking about death all the time and seemed to be very attached to afterlife studies and practices. So, did it ever really disappear? No. But nowadays, I think with television and with the internet and with 9/11 and all those factors sort of coming together in this huge recipe, that people's interests are peaked again, and it's become a level of interest and curiosity.
Fair enough. Great. And why don't we finish with, again, your name and how you want to be characterized or listed, anything you want to plug, and to list at the bottom, anything like that, just to do that again.
My name is Chip Coffey. I'm a psychic medium, paranormal investigator, and author. My book, Growing Up Psychic, is being released on April 3rd, 2012. Pretty much that's it.
Do you have a website or anything?
My website is www.chipcoffey.com.
Perfecto. Excellent. So maybe